You stupid girl ruined my plan.
The morning sun cast golden light through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the Lecky Phase 1 mansion as Amara Shinanso began her daily routine. At 24 years old, she'd been working as the Bena Okonkwo's housemaid for exactly 1 year, and every single day she thanked God for this job. "Good morning, Amara." Toby's voice called from the dining room. "Did you sleep well?" "Yes, sir." "Good morning, sir." She entered with his breakfast tray. Fresh fruit, scrambled eggs, toast, and the special ginger tea he preferred. "How many times must I tell you? It's just Toby." "Sir, makes me feel like my father." He smiled warmly, that genuine smile that had surprised her on her first day of work. In her previous jobs, and there had been many, employers had never asked about her sleep, never smiled, never treated her like a human being worthy of basic courtesy. "Yes, I mean Toby." She still couldn't get used to it. As she set down his breakfast, her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. "Chitty has a small fever. Nothing serious. Just wanted you to know." Her face must have shown her worry because Toby immediately asked, "Everything okay? Is it your son?" "Just a small fever, sir. My mother says it's nothing serious." Children get fevers all the time, but if you need to leave early to check on him, please do. Family comes first. Amara, always. She felt tears prick her eyes. "Thank you, sir." This was why she loved this job. Why she'd do anything to keep it. Amara's journey to this mansion had been long and painful. 5 years ago, at 19, she'd gotten pregnant by her boyfriend, Daniel. The moment she told him, he'd disappeared. Changed his number, moved away, vanished like smoke. Her family had been disappointed but supportive. She'd given birth to Chitty, a beautiful boy who became her entire world. But single motherhood in Lagos was expensive, brutal. She'd worked as a market seller, a restaurant cleaner, a nanny for families who paid her almost nothing and treated her worse. She'd endured employers who yelled, who accused her of theft, who made her work 16-hour days for pittance wages. Then, 1 year ago, her mother had fallen seriously ill. Diabetes complications requiring immediate hospitalization. The bill was 850,000 Nigerian nairas, money Amara didn't have. She'd been crying outside the hospital when Mrs. Adana, an older woman, had approached her. "Why are you crying, my daughter?" Through tears, Amara had explained. Mrs. Adana had listened, then said, "I work as a cook for a good man, a very good man. He's looking for a housemaid. Let me talk to him." 3 days later, Amara had met Bena Okonkwo. He was 32, an architect who'd built his own successful firm, Okonkwo and Associates. Despite his wealth, he was humble, soft-spoken, respectful. During the interview, he'd asked about her situation. When she mentioned her mother's hospital bill, he'd paused. "If I hire you, would you like an advance on your salary to help with the medical expenses?" She'd stared at him, certain she'd misheard. "Sir, your mother needs help now. I can advance you 3 months' salary. You'll work it off over time, but she can get treatment immediately." Amara had broken down crying right there. No one in '01 had ever shown her such kindness. He'd paid the entire hospital bill. Her mother had recovered. And for the past year, Amara had worked harder than she'd ever worked, grateful beyond words. Now this morning, 1 week before his wedding, Toby was practically glowing with excitement. "Amara, come see." He called her into his bedroom where a magnificent suit hung on the wardrobe, navy blue with subtle pinstripes, clearly custom-made, clearly expensive. "My wedding suit arrived yesterday. What do you think?" "It's beautiful, sir. You look very handsome." His smile widened. "I can't believe it's finally happening. 1 week from today, I'll be married to Cynthia, starting our life together. Maybe by this time next year, you'll be helping me with a baby." He laughed, full of hope and joy. Amara forced a smile, pushing down the discomfort she always felt around Cynthia Adeyemi, Toby's fiancée. As if summoned by thought, the doorbell rang. Cynthia had arrived. Darling. She swept into the house like a queen, 29 years old and stunning, in an expensive dress and designer heels. She kissed Toby passionately, then turned to Amara with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Girl, bring me water. Cold, with ice. And make sure the glass is properly cleaned this time." Amara's previous glass had been spotless, but she said nothing. "Yes, Ma." In the kitchen, Mama Adana, the cook, shook her head. "That woman, something about her isn't right. Mama, she's just different from us." "Different? She's evil. Mark my words. That girl doesn't love Ogotobi. She loves his money." "Mama, don't say that. He's happy. For now." Mama Dana stirred her pot with unusual vigor. But happiness built on lies never lasts. Amara delivered the water to Cynthia, who took it without a word of thanks, still talking to Toby about wedding preparations, the flowers, the cake, the guest list of over 300 people. When Cynthia finally left 2 hours later, her last words to Amara were, "Tomorrow, bring my dry cleaning to my apartment. I don't have time to pick it up myself. Don't be late." "Yes, Ma." After she'd gone, Toby apologized. "Sorry if Cynthia seems demanding sometimes. She's just stressed about the wedding. She's really very sweet once you get to know her." Amara smiled and said nothing. Because what could she say? That his fiancée treated her like dirt? That something about Cynthia's eyes was cold and calculating? That every instinct in her body screamed that this woman was wrong for him? She was just a maid. Her opinion didn't matter. That evening, as Amara took the bus back to her one-room apartment in Acadia, where she lived with Chitty and her mother, she thought about Toby's excitement, his joy, his absolute certainty that he was marrying the love of his life. "Mama," Chitty ran to her when she arrived, his fever already gone. "I missed you. I missed you too, my boy." She held him tight, breathing in his child-sweet smell. Her mother, looking much healthier than she had a year ago, thanks to Toby's generosity, smiled. "How was work?" "Good, Mama. Sir Toby's wedding is next week." "Is he marrying that pretty girl you mentioned? The one who's not very nice?" Amara hesitated. "Yes, but he loves her, and she makes him happy. That's what matters." Even as she said it, she didn't quite believe it. That night, lying on her thin mattress with Chitty curled beside her, Amara prayed, "God, please let me be wrong about her. Please let Sir Toby be happy. He deserves it. He's a good man. Please protect him." She had no idea how desperately he would need that protection, or that within 24 hours, she would discover a secret so terrible, it would force her to choose between her own safety and saving the life of the man who'd save hers. Tomorrow, she would deliver Cynthia's dry cleaning. Tomorrow, everything would change. He's the kindest boss in Lagos. He paid her mother's hospital bills. He treats his staff like family. But is he about to marry a monster? What will Amara discover when she delivers that dry cleaning? You will not believe what she overhears. Smash that like button. Subscribe to African Tales by Zion because this story is about to get dark. Drop a comment. Do you think Cynthia really loves him, or is something else going on? Turn on notifications because next chapter is when the maid discovers a secret that will shatter everything. You don't want to miss this. The next afternoon, Amara stood outside Cynthia's luxury apartment building in Victoria Island, holding a garment bag containing Cynthia's freshly dry-cleaned clothes. The building was one of those expensive high-rises where the security guards looked at people like Amara with suspicion and barely concealed contempt. "I'm here to deliver clothes for Miss Cynthia Adeyemi, apartment 12C, she told the guard. He looked her up and down, her simple dress, her worn shoes, her status written all over her. Use the service entrance. Of course. Rich people's front doors weren't for the likes of her. She took the service elevator to the 12th floor and knocked on apartment 12C. No answer, though she could hear voices inside, muffled, indistinct. Music playing. She knocked again, louder. Still no answer. She tried the door handle. It turned. The door was unlocked, slightly ajar. "Miss Cynthia?" she called, pushing open. "Ma, I brought your dry cleaning." No response. The apartment was stunning. White marble floors, expensive furniture, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Lagos skyline. The kind of place Amara could never even dream of affording. She stepped inside cautiously. Ma, I'll just hang these in your room and go. Then she heard it. Laughter. A woman's voice. A man's voice. Coming from the bedroom. Intimate sounds. Amara froze. She should leave. Right now. This was none of her business. But something, instinct, curiosity, divine intervention, made her take another step forward. The bedroom door was partially open. Through the gap, she saw them. Cynthia, in a silk robe that had fallen open, kissing a man. Not Toby, a stranger. Tall, handsome, shirtless. Their hands were all over each other, passionate, desperate, the kind of intimacy that spoke of long familiarity. Amara gasped and dropped the hangers. They clattered loudly on the marble floor. But the couple didn't hear. They were too absorbed in each other. Amara's heart hammered. She should run, but her legs wouldn't move. And then she heard Cynthia's voice, clear now, because they'd broken apart. "Emeka, we've been over this," Cynthia said, sounding annoyed. "After the wedding, we wait 6 months. Maybe a year." "A year?" The man, Emeka, sounded frustrated. "I'm supposed to watch you play happy wife for a whole year while he touches you, sleeps beside you. It's called patience, baby. We need it to look natural." "Natural? You mean killing him looking natural?" Amara's blood turned to ice. "Sure, don't say it like that." Cynthia laughed, but it was cold. An accident. Maybe a car crash. He drives himself to construction sites all the time. Brake failure is very common. Or we could go slower. Poison. Something that looks like illness. You're actually serious. You want to kill him? Emeka didn't sound shocked. He sounded interested. He's worth 500 million naira, Emeka. His architecture firm alone is worth 300 million. Then there are the properties, the investments, the life insurance policies. I made sure he updated with me as the sole beneficiary. As his wife, I inherit everything. And if we get caught, we won't. I'll be the devastated young widow. You'll be nowhere near it. We'll wait the appropriate mourning period, then slowly start dating. No one will suspect. How exactly are you planning to do it? I'm thinking car accident is cleanest. Third mainland bridge. It's dangerous. Accidents happen there all the time. Brake failure during evening traffic, when he's driving home from a site inspection. Tragic. Horrible. But these things happen. Emeka laughed. You're terrifying. This is why I love you. I love you too. But I also love security. Toby gives me that. You give me passion. After he's dead, I can have both. Plus 500 million reasons to be patient. They kissed again, and Amara realized she was shaking so violently she might collapse. This wasn't just an affair. This was murder. Premeditated, calculated murder. She tried to back toward the door, but her shaking hands knocked over a decorative vase on the hallway table. Crash. The sound was deafening in the quiet apartment. What was that? Cynthia's voice, sharp now. Footsteps. Fast. Cynthia appeared in the hallway, wrapped in her robe, face flushed. She saw Amara standing frozen, the broken vase at her feet. What are you doing here? Her voice was ice. I brought your dry cleaning, Ma. The door was open. I called out, but no one answered. I was just... Emeka appeared behind Cynthia, now wearing pants but still shirtless. His face changed from casual to calculating in an instant. How long has she been here? Cynthia's eyes narrowed dangerously. What did you hear? Nothing, Ma. I just arrived. I knocked, but... You're lying. Cynthia moved closer, her beautiful face transformed into something ugly, threatening. Your eyes. I can see it. What? Did you hear? Nothing. I swear, I didn't hear anything. Cynthia grabbed Amara's arm violently, her nails digging in. If you heard anything, and you breathe one word at Abena, I will destroy you. Do you understand? Destroy you. I didn't hear. I will tell him you're a thief, that you stole my jewelry. My word against yours. Who do you think he'll believe? A respectable woman or a desperate maid? Emeka added lazily. She's right, you know. Who believes the help? Plus, you have a kid, right? A son. His smile was cruel. Chitty, isn't it? Cute kid. Would be a shame if something happened to him. Amara's entire body went cold. Don't you dare. Oh, I dare, Cynthia hissed. I know where your mother lives. I know where your son goes to daycare. Accidents happen to children all the time. Amara. Fires. Drownings. Kidnappings. Do you want to test me? Tears streamed down Amara's face. Please, please don't hurt my baby. Then you didn't hear anything. You came, you dropped off the clothes, you left. That's the story. Yes, yes, Ma. Good girl. Cynthia released her arm with a shove. Now get the hell out of my apartment. And remember, one word to Benna and your son pays the price. Amara ran. She grabbed the dry cleaning, hung it in the closet with shaking hands, and fled the apartment. She didn't wait for the elevator. She took the stairs, 12 flights, running, sobbing, terrified. By the time she reached the street, she could barely breathe. She found a quiet corner behind the building and vomited. They were going to kill him. Kill Toby, the kindest man she'd ever known. Murder him for his money. And she was the only person who knew. But if she told him, they'd hurt Chitty. Maybe kill him too. What was she supposed to do? She pulled out her phone with trembling hands and called Mama Dana. Mama, I need to talk to you. Something terrible happened. Come to my house. Now. An hour later, sitting in Mama Dana's small apartment in Yaba, Amara told her everything. The older woman's face grew darker with every word. Jesus Christ. Murder. They're planning murder. What do I do, Mama? She threatened my son. You have to tell Olga, Toby. She'll hurt Chitty. She said she knows where he goes to daycare. She knows where my mother lives. I believe her, Mama. She meant it. And if you say nothing, Olga Toby will die. Can you live with that? Knowing you could have saved him but didn't. Amara buried her face in her hands. I don't know. I don't know. That man paid your mother's hospital bills. He treats you with respect and dignity. He gives you a good salary, time off when you need it. He's a good man. Amara, are you going to let evil people kill him because you're afraid? I'm not just afraid for me. I'm afraid for my child. Then find a way to tell him without Cynthia knowing it came from you. How? Mama Dana was quiet for a long moment. I don't know, my daughter, but you need to pray. Pray hard. Because God put you in that apartment at that exact moment for a reason. He let you hear that conversation. Now you have to decide what to do with that knowledge. Amar returned to Toby's house late that evening. He was in his study, looking at wedding venue photos. Amara, there you are. Did you deliver Cynthia's clothes? Yes, sir. Good. Come look at these photos. The venue is going to be beautiful. 300 guests. Can you believe it? The biggest day of my life. She looked at the photos, at his happy face, at the suit hanging in his room that he'd wear to marry his murderer. It's beautiful, sir. You seem quiet. Is everything okay? Tell him. Tell him right now. Scream it. Sir, she's going to kill you. But the word stuck in her throat, because all she could see was Chitty's face. Her innocent 5-year-old son. I'm fine, sir. Just tired. Go rest then. Big week ahead. That night, alone in her servant quarters behind the main house, Amara lay awake until dawn. She had 7 days until the wedding. 7 days to decide, her son's safety or her boss's life. God help her, she didn't know which to choose. She heard everything. The affair, the murder plot, the plan to kill him for 500 million naira. But now they've threatened her son. What would you do? Risk your child to save your boss? Or stay silent and let a good man die? This is impossible. Don't miss next chapter where Amara has to make the hardest decision of her life. Smash that like. Subscribe to African Tales by Zion. Comment. Would you tell the truth if it meant your child could be hurt? Turn on notifications because the next chapter will tear your heart apart. 5 days until the wedding. Amara watched Benna show her the wedding program, a glossy, expensive booklet with his and Cynthia's photos on the cover. both smiling like they had forever ahead of them. Look, Amara, the ceremony starts at 2 p.m., then reception, dancing, the cake. And here, he pointed to a page, these are our honeymoon plans. 2 weeks in Zanzibar. Cynthia's always wanted to go. Every word was a knife in Amara's chest, because she knew that Cynthia didn't want a future with him. She wanted him dead. It sounds wonderful, sir. You know what the best part is? Toby's eyes were bright with joy. Starting a family. I want children. Amara. 3, maybe 4. I want to be the kind of father my dad was. Present, loving, teaching them to work hard and treat people right. Amara felt tears prick her eyes. He wouldn't live to see those children. If Cynthia's plan worked, he'd be dead within a year. Car accident. Brake failure. The 3rd mainland bridge. Sir, can I ask you something? Of course. Are you absolutely sure about Miss Cynthia? Have you known her long enough to? Amara, he laughed gently. I know you're protective. It's sweet, but I've known Cynthia for 2 years. I love her. She's my future. Stop worrying. I'm not worrying. She wanted to scream. I'm trying to save your life. But the words wouldn't come. Because every time she opened her mouth to tell him, she saw Chitty's face. Heard Cynthia's threat. Accidents happen to children. Later that day, Toby called her into his study. Amara, I need you to witness something. He had documents spread across his desk. Insurance papers. I'm updating my life insurance policy. Cynthia suggested it. Said as a married man, I should make sure she's protected if anything happens to me. He signed paper after paper. 500 million naira payout. She'll be the sole beneficiary. Amara's hands went cold. This was part of their plan. She was watching him sign his own death warrant. Sir, maybe you should wait until after the wedding to... Nonsense. This is responsible planning. My father always said, take care of those you love. I'm taking care of Cynthia. He was taking care of his future killer. That afternoon, Cynthia arrived at the house for a final dress fitting. She looked stunning, radiant, every inch the excited bride. She kissed Toby lovingly, gazed at him with apparent adoration, talked about their future with such convincing warmth. Then Toby went to take a phone call, and Cynthia's face transformed. She looked at Amara with cold hatred. Have you been running your mouth? She whispered. No, Ma. Good. Keep it that way. Remember, I know where Chitty is. Right now, actually, at Little Stars Daycare on Allen Avenue, right? Playing with the other children? So innocent. So fragile. Amara's blood froze. How do you... I know everything about you. Amara, your mother lives at 23, Ogunlana Drive, Suralere. Your son is in the Yellow Building daycare. You take the same bus route every day. I could have him taken in seconds. Do you understand? Yes, Ma. Wonderful. Cynthia's smile returned as Toby walked back in. Darling, this dress is perfect. I can't wait for you to see me in it on our wedding day. After she left, Amara ran to the bathroom and vomited. 3 days until the wedding. Amara was cleaning near the garden when she heard Cynthia on the phone. She'd stepped outside to take a call, not realizing Amara was right around the corner behind the hedge. Emeka, stop panicking. I told you. 6 months after the wedding, maybe sooner if the opportunity presents itself. Yes, I've been researching brake systems. It's actually not that complicated. A small cut in the brake line, some fluid leakage, and during evening traffic when he's tired, it'll look completely accidental. The insurance investigators won't find anything suspicious. These things happen all the time. Stop worrying about the police. I've thought of everything. He just signed the insurance papers today. 500 million naira, baby. All ours. I know. I wish we didn't have to wait either. But dead husbands raise fewer questions than divorced ones, and I'm not giving up 80% of his assets in a divorce when I can have 100% as a widow. I love you too. Just be patient. By this time next year, we'll be together and rich, and Debena will just be a tragic memory. Amara's hand shook so badly, she dropped the bucket she was carrying. The clatter was loud. Cynthia spun around, saw her, For a long moment, they stared at each other. Then Cynthia walked over slowly, deliberately. She grabbed Amara's face roughly, nails digging into her cheeks. "How much did you hear?" "Nothing, Ma. I just dropped the bucket." "You're lying. I can see it in your eyes." She leaned in close. "I warned you what would happen. Your son, Amara. Sweet little chitty. I can make him disappear. Do you believe me?" Tears streamed down Amara's face. "Please don't hurt my baby." "Then keep your mouth shut." She released Amara with a shove. 3 more days. After the wedding, I'll be Mrs. Okonkwo, and you'll just be the help. Try to accuse me then and see what happens. That evening, Amara sat in Mama Dana's kitchen, crying so hard she couldn't breathe. She's going to kill him, Mama. She talked about cutting his brake lines. She has it all planned. And he's so happy, so excited, signing insurance papers, planning for children he'll never have. Then you have to tell him. She knows where Chitty goes to school. She threatened to make him disappear. She's not bluffing, Mama. I can see it in her eyes. She's evil, actually evil. So, what are you going to do? Watch a good man die. I don't know. Amara's voice broke. I don't know what to do. If I tell him, she hurts my son. If I don't tell him, he dies. Either way, someone I love gets hurt. Mama Dana held her while she sobbed. Pray, my daughter. God will show you the way. 2 days before the wedding, there was a final suit fitting. Toby stood in his bedroom in that beautiful navy blue suit, looking in the mirror, grinning like a kid. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Amara, help me with the lint on the shoulders. She approached with the lint roller, her hands shaking. Up close, she could see his joy, his hope, his absolute trust in the future. He had no idea he was marrying his murderer. The words rose in her throat like vomit. "SIR, she's planning to kill you." But fear choked him back down. "Are you all right, Amara? You've been so quiet lately." "I'm fine, sir. Just, I hope you'll be very happy." "I will be. I've never been more sure of anything. Cynthia is my future, my forever. Your death, Amara thought. She's your death." After he left the suit hanging carefully in his wardrobe, Amara stood alone in his room, staring at it. That suit, the symbol of a marriage that would end in murder. She couldn't tell him directly. Cynthia would know it came from her, and Chitty would pay the price. But she couldn't stay silent either. Nod and live with herself. And then, staring at that suit, an idea came to her. Crazy, desperate, but maybe the only way. She pulled out a piece of paper from her pocket and a pen. Her hand shook so badly she could barely write. But she forced herself. Every word, every detail, everything she'd seen and heard. When she finished, she read it over. "Sir, I am so sorry to do this, but I cannot let you marry someone who wants you dead. The day I delivered dry cleaning to Miss Cynthia's apartment, I saw her with another man named Emeka. They were kissing. But that's not the worst part. I heard them planning to kill you after the wedding. They talked about making it look like an accident. A car crash, brake failure, maybe poison. They said in 6 months or a year, after you update all the insurance to her name. She wants the 500 million naira inheritance. She and Emeka plan to be together after you're dead. She threatened to hurt my son if I told you. But I cannot let a good man die. You have been too kind to me. You saved my mother's life. I cannot stay silent and let her take yours. Please believe me. Please protect yourself. I know this will break your heart, but better a broken heart than a dead body. I am so sorry. Amara." She folded it carefully. Tears dropped onto the paper, smudging some words. But it was still readable. This note could cost her everything. Her job, her safety, her son's safety. But Toby's life was worth the risk. She looked at the wedding suit, then at the note in her trembling hand. God forgive her. God protect Chitty. God save them all. She approached the suit and found the inner pocket of the jacket. The one men rarely used, but would definitely find when getting fully dressed. She slipped the note deep inside, making sure it was secure, but visible if someone reached in. Then she hung the suit back exactly as it had been. Done. There was no taking it back now. Tomorrow was the wedding eve. The day after, Toby would put on this suit to marry Cynthia. And when he did, he'd find a note that would either save his life or destroy hers. Amara left the room and went to her quarters. She knelt beside her bed and prayed harder than she'd ever prayed in her life. God, please protect my son. Please let Sir Toby believe me. Please let this be the right choice. Please, God, please. She didn't sleep that night. Neither did her conscience. She wrote it. The note is I in the suit. But will he find it in time? Will he believe a maid over his beautiful fiancée? And what will happen to Amara's son if Cynthia finds out? The wedding is tomorrow. Don't miss next chapter, the wedding morning when everything explodes. Like this video right now. Subscribe to African Tales by Zion. Drop a comment. Did she do the right thing? Turn on notifications because the next chapter is the moment we've been waiting for. The note, the suit, the truth. Wedding Eve. The Okonkwo mansion was transformed into a celebration space. Toby's family had arrived from Enugu. His mother, his two younger sisters, his brother, aunts, uncles, cousins. The house rang with laughter and music, the joyful chaos of a family gathering for a wedding. Amara moved through it all like a ghost, serving food, cleaning, helping coordinate, her heart a stone of dread in her chest. The note was in the suit, upstairs, waiting. Amara, Toby's mother, Mrs. Okonkwo, called her. Come, sit with us for a moment. Ma, I have work. Work can wait. Sit. Amara sat nervously on the edge of the sofa, while Toby's mother and sisters chatted excitedly about the wedding, about Cynthia, about how beautiful the bride would look. Tabena is so blessed, one sister said. Cynthia is perfect for him. Beautiful, sophisticated, from a good family. A killer, Amara thought. She's planning his murder. Amara, you've worked for my son for a year now, Mrs. Okonkwo said. What do you think of Cynthia? Every eye turned to her. Amara's mouth went dry. She's very beautiful, Ma. But do you think she loves my son? The question hung in the air. Amara could feel the weight of it. She could say it right now. Right here. Tell them all what she knew. But then Cynthia herself walked in, radiant in an expensive outfit, and the moment shattered. Good evening, everyone. Cynthia greeted Toby's family with perfect warmth, hugging his mother, kissing his sister's cheeks, charming them all. I'm so excited. Tomorrow I become part of this wonderful family. She glanced at Amara with a look that said, See? They all love me. Who would believe you? The bachelor party was that night. Toby and his groomsmen going out to celebrate his last night of freedom. He left the house around 8 p.m., laughing, surrounded by friends. Cynthia left shortly after, heading to her own bachelorette celebration. Alone in the house with just Toby's mother and Mama Dana, Amara felt the weight of everything crushing her. You look troubled, my daughter, Mrs. Okonkwo said kindly. What's wrong? Tell her. Tell her right now. Her son's life depends on it. But fear paralyzed her tongue. Nothing, Ma. Just tired. Toby returned home after midnight, slightly drunk, radiantly happy. Amara heard him come in, heard him singing in the hallway. Amara, are you still awake? She emerged from her quarters. Yes, sir. Tomorrow. He grinned, swaying slightly. Tomorrow I marry the love of my life. Can you believe it? Me, Tabena Okonkwo, marrying the most beautiful woman in Lagos. The most deadly, too. I hope you'll be very happy, sir. Happy? I'm going to be blessed. With Cynthia by my side, I can do anything. Build my business, raise a family, grow old together. He stopped, suddenly serious despite the alcohol. Amara, thank you. For what, sir? For being part of my life this past year. For being trustworthy and kind. You're a good person. I see how hard you work, how much you love your son. That's the kind of character that matters. Not money or status character. He patted her shoulder clumsily. Good night, Amara. See you tomorrow at the biggest day of my life. She watched him stumble to his bedroom, her eyes filling with tears. Please find the note. Please, God, let him find it. That night, Amara didn't sleep at all. She lay in her small bed, staring at the ceiling, praying continuously. At some point around 3 a.m., her phone rang. Her mother. Amara, why aren't you sleeping? I can't, Mama. What's wrong? You sound scared. I did something today. Something that might cost me my job. Or worse. What did you do? I tried to save someone's life. I hope it was the right choice. Then it was, God doesn't punish people for trying to save lives. Whatever happens, trust him. How's Chitty? Sleeping peacefully. Stop worrying. Come home safely tomorrow. If there's a tomorrow, Amara thought. Wedding morning. The house erupted in activity at 6 a.m. Caterers arriving, decorators, musicians, family members getting ready. Phones ringing, people running everywhere. Amara helped serve breakfast, helped coordinate last-minute details, helped Toby's mother with her outfit, all while her heart hammered so hard she thought it might explode. The suit was still upstairs. Toby would get dressed at 11 a.m. The wedding started at 2 p.m. At 10:30 a.m., Toby's groomsmen arrived, 5 of his closest friends, all laughing and joking. Oh, good Toby. Time to become a married man. Toby appeared, grinning. Let's do this. They all headed upstairs to his bedroom to get ready. Amara positioned herself in the hallway, pretending to arrange flowers in a vase, but really watching through Toby's partially open bedroom door. She saw him greet his friends, saw them joking around, saw him start getting dressed, the crisp white shirt first, then the elegant shoes, the cologne. Then he reached for the suit jacket. Amara's breath stopped. He put it on, buttoned it, looked in the mirror, adjusting the lapels. Then his hand went to his chest, paused, his brow furrowed. His hand reached into the inner pocket. Amara's heart stopped completely. He pulled out the folded note, stared at it. What's this? One of his groomsmen asked. I don't know. There's something in my pocket. Probably a good luck message from Cynthia. Toby unfolded it, started reading. Amara watched his face drain of all color. He read it once, twice, 3 times. His hand started shaking. Toby, his best man, Chike, noticed. Guy, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Toby didn't answer. He just kept staring at the note, his face going from shock to horror, to something Amara couldn't identify. Toby, talk to us. What is it? Without a word, Toby walked out of the bedroom, still holding the note. His groomsmen followed, confused. Amara's legs trembled so badly she could barely stand. Toby walked downstairs like a man in a trance, through the living room where his family was gathered, past the caterers, straight to the kitchen, where Amara was now standing, frozen. Their eyes met. Is this true? His voice was barely a whisper. Amara, is this true? She felt tears stream down her face. She nodded. All of it? The affair? The murder plot? She nodded again. Toby's legs gave out. He sat down hard on a kitchen chair. His best man grabbed the note from his hand and read it. His face went white. Jesus Christ. The other groomsmen crowded around, reading over his shoulder. Gasps, curses, shock. Toby's mother appeared in the doorway. Tabena? What's happening? The guests will be arriving soon. Why aren't you? She saw his face. What's wrong? Toby handed her the note, silently. She read it, once. Then she screamed. He found it. He read it. But will he believe it? His mother just read about the murder plot. The wedding starts in 3 hours. What happens now? Don't miss the final chapter where the truth explodes and Cynthia's evil plan is destroyed. Smash that like. Subscribe to African Tales by Zion. Comment, what would you do if you were Toby right now? Turn on notifications for conclusion. This is about to get intense. Mrs. Okonkwo's scream brought everyone running. Within seconds, the kitchen was crowded with family members, groomsmen, Mama, Dana, all talking at once. What's happening? Why is Mama crying? Toby, talk to us. But Toby just sat there, the note crumpled in his shaking hands, his face the color of ash. His best man, Chike, held up his hand for silence. Everyone, calm down. There's been a situation. He looked at Toby. Guy, we need to handle this. Now, before the wedding. There is no wedding, Toby said, his voice hollow. What? His mother grabbed his shoulders. To Benna, what are you saying? Read the note, Mama. Read what Amara wrote. He looked up at Amara, who was crying silently in the corner. Tell them everything you saw, everything you heard. Amara's voice shook as she spoke. Through tears, she told them about delivering the dry cleaning, about walking in on Cynthia and Emeka, about hiding and overhearing the murder plot, the plans for car crashes, brake failure, poison, the 500 million naira motive, the 6-month to 1-year timeline, the updated insurance policies. Everything. The room was silent except for her voice and Mrs. Okonkwo's quiet sobbing. When she finished, Toby's brother, Emeka, a different Emeka, spoke. This is serious. These are serious accusations. Before we cancel a wedding and destroy relationships based on a maid's word. Don't you dare! Mama Dana interrupted fiercely. This girl has worked here for a year. She's honest, respectful, hardworking. Why would she lie about something like this? I'm not saying she's lying. I'm saying we need to verify before we act. Chike nodded. He's right. Toby, do you have any of this Emeka guy's contact information? Cynthia mentioned an Emeka a few times, an ex-boyfriend, but she said they weren't in touch anymore. Toby's voice was dead. She said he was in the past. Did she give you his number? No. Amara spoke up quietly. I heard her say his number once on the phone. I wrote it down, in case I ever needed proof. She pulled a crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. Chike took it. Let's call him, confront him, see what he says. What if he lies? Someone asked. Then we watch Toby's reaction, and we make other calls. We investigate. Chike dialed the number and put it on speaker. It rang twice. Hello? Is this Emeka? Chike asked. Yeah, who's this? Chike looked at Toby, who took a shaky breath and spoke. This is to Benna Okonkwo, Cynthia's fiancé, or I was supposed to be. Silence on the other end. Then, how did you get my number? That doesn't matter. I need to know the truth. Are you sleeping with Cynthia? A long pause. Then, unbelievably, Emeka laughed. Oh shit, she told you? Or did you find out? The room erupted in gasps. Mrs. Okonkwo covered her mouth. Toby's hands clenched into fists. How long? Man, like 3 years? Since before she even met you. Toby closed his eyes. And you're still together? While she's engaged to me? Look, bro, I know it's messed up. But Cynthia and we have history. Real love. But I'm broke and you got the money. So she needed. And the plan to kill me? Toby's voice cracked. Was that real? The silence on the other end was deafening. Who told you about that? So it's true. Toby's voice rose to a shout. You were actually planning to murder me? Look, man, that was mostly Cynthia's idea. She's ambitious. She wants everything, the money, the status. And yeah, me, I told her it was too risky, but she's determined. How? Toby demanded. How were you planning to do it? I don't think I should. Tell me. Car accident, okay? Brake failure on 3rd Mainland Bridge. She researched it, said it would look completely natural. After she got the insurance money and inheritance, we'd wait a respectful amount of time, then reconnect publicly. No one would suspect. Mrs. Okonkwo collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Toby's siblings looked murderous. His groomsmen stood in shocked silence. You're a monster, Toby whispered. Hey, man, I didn't say I was actually going to help her do it. Toby ended the call and threw the phone across the room. It shattered against the wall. Then he put his face in his hands and broke down completely. His mother held him while he sobbed. My baby, my baby. Oh, God, my son almost married a killer. Chike picked up the pieces of the phone. Toby, we need to call the police. This is conspiracy to commit murder. We have recorded evidence. After, Toby said through tears. After I confront her, I need to see her face. I need to hear her say it. Toby, I need to see her. He stood up, wiping his face. The wedding was supposed to start in 2 hours. She's probably at the hotel getting ready. Call her. Tell her to come here. Now. Tell her it's urgent, but don't say why. Chaik made the call. Cynthia answered on the second ring, sounding excited and happy. Chaik, is Toby okay? Is something wrong? We need you to come to the house immediately, before the wedding. It's important. What? I'm at the hotel getting my hair and makeup done. The wedding is in 2 hours. Cynthia, please, just come. Now. Is Toby okay? Just come. She arrived 40 minutes later, still in her robe, her hair half-styled, her face showing irritation mixed with worry. She swept into the house calling, Toby? Baby, what's wrong? They said it was urgent. She entered the living room and stopped dead. Everyone was there. Toby's entire family. His groomsmen, Mama Dana, and Amara. The moment Cynthia saw Amara, her face changed. Just for a second, a flash of pure hatred, before she smoothed it into confusion. What's going on? Why does everyone look so serious? Toby. She moved toward him, but he backed away. Don't touch me. Baby, what's wrong? You're scaring me. He held up the note. Did you plan to kill me, Cynthia? All the color drained from her face. Her eyes locked on Amara, with murder in them. You, she hissed. You did this. I warned you. Answer me. Toby's voice shook the room. Were you planning to murder me after the wedding? Cynthia's face cycled through shock, panic, calculation. Then she tried to laugh. What? That's insane. Who told you such a ridiculous? She saw everyone's faces, saw the note, saw Amara's tears. This is that maid making up stories. She's jealous. Chaik held up his phone. We called Emeka. He confirmed everything. The affair, the murder plan, all of it. Cynthia went white, then red. Then she lunged at Amara, screaming, You stupid bitch. I told you what would happen to your son. 3 groomsmen grabbed her before she could reach Amara. Toby's mother wrapped her arms around the sobbing maid protectively. Get away from her. Mrs. Okonkwo shouted. You threatening her child? You monster. Cynthia struggled against the men holding her. Let me go. This is all a misunderstanding. That maid is lying. Toby, baby, you know me. You know I would never. I have a recording, Chaik said coldly, of Emeka describing your murder plan. Brake failure. 3rd mainland bridge. 500 million naira insurance payout. Should I play it for you? Cynthia stopped struggling. Her face crumbled. Toby, please, she whispered. I love you. Whatever you heard, whatever she said. You love me? Toby's voice was broken. You planned to kill me. For money. It wasn't like that. Emeka and I, we were just talking. Fantasy. I would never actually. You research brake systems. Toby shouted. You made me update all my insurance with you as the sole beneficiary. You discussed timelines and methods. That's not fantasy, Cynthia. That's premeditation. She realized she was caught. Completely caught. Her face hardened. Fine. You want the truth. She yanked herself free from the groomsmen. Yes, Emeka and I are together. Have been for 3 years. Yes, I was sleeping with him while engaged to you. And yes, we talk about ways to end the marriage early. Gasps filled the room. Mrs. Okonkwo wailed. Why? Toby's voice was barely audible. Why agree to marry me at all? Because I needed security. Emeka has passion, but no money. You have money, but no excitement. I thought I could have both. Is that so wrong? By killing me? I probably wouldn't have actually done it. But her voice wavered. Maybe. I don't know. But you're so boring, Toby. So nice, so respectful, so dull. I needed more. Then why not just divorce me and give up 80% of your money? No. As a widow, I get everything. The firm, the properties, the insurance payout. Everything. It made sense financially. The room erupted, people shouting, crying. Toby's brother had to be physically restrained from attacking Cynthia. Toby just stood there, looking at this woman he'd thought he loved, this woman he'd planned to spend his life with, this woman who just admitted she considered murdering him for money. "Get out," he said quietly. "Toby, get out of my house. We can work through this. Couples counseling. I'll cut off Emeka. We can start over. You plan to murder me, Cynthia. There's no starting over from that." He looked at Chike. "Call the police. I want to file a formal complaint. Conspiracy to commit murder." Cynthia's eyes widened. "You wouldn't." "I just recorded this entire conversation," Chike said, holding up his phone. "You just confessed to planning to kill him. On tape. In front of witnesses." Cynthia looked around at all the hostile faces, at Toby's dead eyes, at the end of everything. Then she did the only thing she could do. She ran. But Toby's brother was faster. He blocked the door. "You're not going anywhere until the police arrive." 20 minutes later, Lagos State Police arrived. Toby gave them a note, the recorded phone call with Emeka, the recording of Cynthia's confession, Amara's testimony as a witness. They arrested Cynthia right there in her bridal robe, her hair half done, her perfect mask finally completely shattered. As they led her out in handcuffs, she looked at Amara one last time. "Your son. I swear to God, when I get out, you're going to prison for a long time," the lead officer said. "I wouldn't worry about making threats." The wedding that never was. Guests started arriving at the venue around 1 p.m. They were met by Toby's brother with a simple announcement. "The wedding has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. We apologize for any inconvenience." Social media exploded with speculation. Blogs called it the wedding scandal of the year. Toby spent that day in his room, devastated. His heart was shattered. But he was alive. 2 weeks later, Amara was in the kitchen when Toby called her to his study. She entered, terrified despite everything. Was he angry she'd waited so long to tell him? Was she being fired? Instead, when she entered, Toby stood up and did something she never expected. He hugged her. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for saving my life." Amara broke down crying. "I'm so sorry, sir. I should have told you sooner." But she threatened Chitty. "I was so scared." "I know. I understand. You were protecting your child. But you still found a way to tell me. That note," his voice broke. "That note saved my life. Amara, literally. If I'd married her, if I hadn't found it, I couldn't let her kill you, sir. You've been too good to me." He released her and walked to his desk, picked up several documents. "I've been thinking about how to thank you. Money seems inadequate for saving someone's life, but it's a start." He handed her the first document. "This is a new contract. You're promoted to house manager. Your salary is now 200,000 Nigerian nairas per month." Amara gasped. That was more than double her current salary. "This," he handed her another document, "is a trust fund I've established for Chitty. 10 million Nigerian nairas invested to cover his education from primary school through university, including studying abroad if he's qualified." She couldn't speak, could barely breathe. "And this," he handed her the final document, "is the deed to your mother's house. I paid off the remaining rent and bought it outright. It's now in your mother's name. She'll never worry about housing again. Sir." Amara collapsed into a chair, sobbing. "This is too much. I don't deserve. You saved my life. Amara, this isn't too much. It's not nearly enough. What about Miss Cynthia? And Emeka?" The police investigation confirmed everything. Phone records, financial records showing the insurance policy updates. Everything. They've both been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. His voice hardened. Cynthia's lawyers tried to get her out on bail, but the judge denied it. She's too much of a flight risk. They're both in Kirikiri prison awaiting trial. How long will they get? My lawyers say with the recorded confessions and evidence, they're looking at 7 to 10 years each. Maybe more. Amara felt a weight lift from her chest. They couldn't hurt Chitty. They couldn't hurt anyone. And you, sir? How are you? Toby's smile was sad, heartbroken, betrayed, angry, grateful to be alive, all of it at once. He sat down heavily. I loved her, Amara, or I thought I did. I can't believe I was so blind. She was very good at pretending, sir. She was, but you saw through her. Why? Because I know what real love looks like, sir. My late husband, Chitty's father who ran away, he didn't love me, but before him, my own father loved my mother truly. I saw how he treated her, with respect, with honesty. Miss Cynthia never looked at you that way. She looked at you like a bank account. Toby was quiet for a long moment. You're very wise for someone so young. I've learned from pain, sir. Pain teaches best. 3 months later, the trial of Cynthia Adeyemi and Emeka Nnamdi was the talk of Lagos. The courtroom was packed for the verdict. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, how do you find defendants? Guilty, Your Honor. Cynthia's family wept. Emeka's head dropped. I hereby sentence Cynthia Adeyemi to 7 years imprisonment. Emeka Nnamdi to 5 years imprisonment, both to be served in Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison. Justice. Amara watched from the gallery. Chitty beside her, her mother on her other side. Toby sat in the front row with his family. When it was over, when Cynthia and Emeka were led away in prison uniforms, when justice had finally been served, Toby turned and found Amara's eyes. He nodded once, a nod that said, "Thank you for everything." She nodded back, a nod that said, "I would do it again." 6 months after that, Amara stood in the kitchen of the mansion, no longer as just a maid, but as house manager, overseeing 3 other staff members. Her mother was healthy, living in her own house with no rent worries. Chitty was in an excellent private school, thriving, his future secure. And Toby was healing, slowly, carefully. He was dating again, a kind pediatrician named Adiz who treated everyone, including Amara, with genuine warmth and respect. Do you think this one is different? Mama Dana asked, watching Adiz laugh with Toby in the garden. I hope so, Mama. I pray so. You save him once. You'd do again if needed, wouldn't you? In a heartbeat. Because that's what you did for people who saw your humanity, who treated you with dignity, who saved your mother's life when you had nothing to give in return. You saved theirs. Even if it cost you everything. Even if it meant hiding a note in a wedding suit. Even if it meant breaking their heart to save their life. That evening, as Amara locked up for the night, she passed Toby's bedroom. The suit, that navy blue suit, still hung in his wardrobe. He'd kept it, not to wear, but to remember. To remember that sometimes truth comes from the most unexpected places. That sometimes the person who saves you is the one society values least. That sometimes a poor maid's note is worth more than a rich woman's promise. And that a broken heart, however painful, is infinitely better than a stopped one. Amara touched the doorframe once, whispered a prayer of gratitude, and went home to her son. Her son who was alive because she'd been brave. Her boss who was alive because she'd been brave. Her future that was secure because truth, no matter how painful, always wins. Always. 7 years in prison. Justice of the maid who saved a life. The note in the suit didn't just break his heart. It saved it. From poor maid to house manager. Her son's education secured. Her mother's house paid for. And the woman who planned murder? Locked up where she belongs. This is what real justice looks like. If this story moved you, smash that like button. Subscribe to African Tales by Zion for more stories where the brave are rewarded and the wicked are punished. Share this with someone who needs to know that doing the right thing, even when it's terrifying, always pays off. Drop a comment. Would you have had Amara's courage? And remember, sometimes the smallest voice tells the biggest truth. Sometimes a note in a pocket saves a life. Sometimes the help is a hero. Thank you for watching. Turn on those notifications so you never miss another story. God bless you all.